They're just saying, get the f out of the car right now. Get out, hands up, hands where I can see them. What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. If you guys are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I do all sorts of crazy stuff. I tell stories, I buy crazy, stupid, broken cars. I'm basically an idiot with my money. You guys should definitely check out some of the videos that I make and consider subscribing. This year I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to do it, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. So sadly, this story doesn't start in a positive way, but it ends the best that it can given the circumstances. So this started just about 6 years ago, and a friend of mine had passed away, and unfortunately, when he passed away, he wasn't really considered a friend of mine. We had a falling out. It was my fault, and we never got to make amends. But anyway, I'll never forget when I got the news. I was outside working on my 54 Bel Air, and I was putting the engine in it that day. Josh was over, and I had the engine all lined up, ready to go in the car. And I just remember getting a text from Jake, and he just said, like, hey dude, I guess you heard the news by now. And I'm like, oh no, what news? And then he links me this article, and I was just like, oh my god, like, wow, this really just happened. Is this real? Is this a joke? This has to be a joke. And sadly, it was not a joke of any stretch of the word. And I was just completely taken back. I asked Josh to leave, and I don't even remember what happened the rest of that day. I don't even think I put the motor in. I think I just packed it in and said, all right, I gotta just go inside. And that was that day. Fast forward a couple days, which is when we went to George's wake, and I rolled up with a couple friends of mine. I think I was with Jake, Harley, Elizabeth, Joey. Those who rode with me, and a couple other people were driving separate as well. And we had Chris, and I think Zach was with us too. I can't remember if he met us there or whatever, but we went up to go see, we went to George's wake. There were two events. There was one in the morning, there was one at night. I might share the nighttime experience in another story. We're not going to talk about that today. Today's going to be about the earlier one. So we went to the early morning wake, and we all took off work. It was on a weekday, and we were having a good old time, riding up there. We had to get on 95 to go to Long Island from Philadelphia suburbs. So we're racing. I'm in the Mercedes. That's the car that I have, and I actually bought back. I still have that Mercedes. I sold it, then I bought it back. But I was driving that car. I think Jake had the red Mustang. Someone had a black Eclipse, and yeah, we went. We paid our respects, and we stayed for the whole ceremony and everything. But like I mentioned earlier, we were planning to stay up there the whole day. We wanted to spend some time with George's family, and we wanted to, just kind of, take everything in. And, even though it wasn't on good terms, we were really trying to, spend the whole day up there, spend time with his family and, socialize with a lot of his closer friends and just kind of take everything in, really. And that's exactly what we did. We had a pretty memorable day, as you're about to find out. But most of that couldn't have been possible without George's loving family and friends. It was really special getting to know all of those people. But anyway, I think we took a break for lunch, and we went to some sandwich place or whatever. But then after that, we went to this beach, and we were just kind of like walking around there, doing some sightseeing, and we picked a good spot to eat. We got like takeout, and we were gonna just kind of eat on the beach and just kind of decompress. this was just us from Pennsylvania at this time. We kind of separated, and we just kind of wanted to, see what there was to see up there, and we would regroup with everybody a little bit later on. We were having a good time just seeing everything that was there, and then it came time for us to leave. So mind you, we were at this beach, and it was a weekday at the end of September, so it's cold, and there really just aren't too many people there. There might have been, like, I don't know, 10 other cars, and there was this gigantic empty parking lot. And George was a huge car enthusiast, and we kind of got the bright idea, like, hey, you know what? We should probably do some burnouts for George, and some donuts. Maybe try some drifting. This seems like a great empty parking lot, and nothing could possibly go wrong. This should be great. So we all just start ripping it. There was probably, I think, 3 or 4 cars, and we all just start sliding around, doing donuts. We're going around, and we're having great fun. And I don't know, I kind of lost track of time. It might have been like 5 or 10 minutes. I have no idea. And mind you, no one was around when we were doing this because the parking lot was huge. I mean, think like football field. So we just drove over somewhere else, and there was no one there, and so we go to leave, and the way it works is there's this like little stretch of road that you pull onto, and there's a little section of road before the bridge where there's like I think maybe a Coast Guard shack or something like that. Maybe there's some restaurants. All that stuff was closed because it was in the off season. But we go to pull out of the parking lot, and we're going straight along that road, and just completely out of nowhere, all these trucks park, and they form a blockade, and now we can't get out, and they're getting out, and they're mad. They're walking toward us, and they're just saying, "Get the fuck out of the car right now! Get out! Get out! Hands up! Hands where I can see them!" And they weren't gonna let us leave, so we all complied. We shut the cars off, and literally hands up. We didn't know what was going on. I guess maybe they saw our little stunt back there, but hands out, get on the sidewalk, and everybody had to present driver's license, proof of insurance, and all that stuff. And oh man, they were yelling at us. There were these, I guess they were park rangers, so they couldn't technically arrest us, but they told us they called the police and they'd be here shortly. So we're like, oh no, oh great, what's going on here? What's gonna happen? And they start yelling at us like, why were you kids up here doing that? It was reckless. You could have hurt somebody, and you're defacing the parking lot, and you're gonna have to fix that. And they're trying to throw the book at us basically. And there were, I think, 3 or 4 of us that were driving cars, and all 4 of us were like, oh man, oh man, oh man. And then the last thing the officer, ranger, the last thing he asked us is, what are you kids even doing up here? So that's when I pulled out the card from the service, still have it right here, and I just told him, listen, sir, we're here to pay respects for our friend. He was a big car enthusiast, and what we were doing back there was, our little tribute to him, as silly as that sounds. And at first he didn't really buy it, and this is kind of like coming back to me as I'm talking about it, because I just remember being so terrified of what was going to happen. And he, in the matter of like the same sentence, he kind of went from, why are you doing that? And at the end of the sentence, he completely changed his tone. And at this point, the sun was pretty much setting, and he put his sunglasses on, and he just looked at us, and he's like, I forget exactly what he said, but it was something like, you kids traveled a really far way today from Pennsylvania to pay respects to your friend. I'm really sorry to hear what happened to you guys. I had a friend that I lost the same way. And then he went on his radio, and he told the police not to come. And then he said, I'll let you guys go. But there was this one other little snag. One of my friends didn't have his actual insurance card on him, and this was before the days of like the apps and the insurance cards, so he couldn't just pull up the app and find it. I forget what he had to do. He made like 5 phone calls. He had to call his insurance agent, and then he was calling his girlfriend. His girlfriend's like, I don't know where it is, and even though this guy wasn't getting us in trouble, he was just kind of like, I can't let you guys leave here scot-free unless I know that you all have insurance on your cars. So he basically said, if your buddy here can't produce proof of insurance, then you're all going down with him. So he makes like 5 phone calls, and he's freaking out, and we're all looking at him like, come on, dude. And eventually, he's able to get his girlfriend to produce the card. I think like the insurance agent had to like mail her a copy, and then she had to like take a picture of it and send it to him. But he had like a crappy phone, and I think they had to like send it to somebody else, like me or one of the other guys, because his phone like wasn't taking the message, and every possible thing went wrong at that moment. And honestly, it couldn't have gone worse. But at the same time, I guess we had a happy outcome, and I'm choosing to look at that situation as George came through for us one last time.